Hey, Dr. Karen Can here with another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest, week of August 22nd, 2016. First of all, happy birthday, Dad! It's my dad's birthday. So, if you did not catch the radio show between me and Diana Cushionbach, the police intuitive, please do check it out. It's about the higher self and some pretty paradigm shifting, shattering information on that show, and it's perfect because this past week has all been about connection to the higher self and healing those connections to the higher self to God or source, and healing the oversoul. So I was trying to describe, what I was told about the oversoul and what it meant. So in simplistic terms, it's like if you have, you say this finger was your life in this particular lifetime. This finger represents maybe a past life of yours, so to speak, and this might be a future life of yours, and this might be another past life. And this is, if I had more fingers, your life as a dolphin in another, universe, and your life as an extraterrestrial in another universe, so your life as an angel, whatever. These are all parts of your individuated souls, and the oversoul would be like the hand part. The one that contains all of the memories, the one that is not incarnated into a physical body, but the one that has the memories and all the experiences of everything, the oversoul. And my understanding, which I have it's hard to explain, but that this week has all been about healing the oversoul. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go with it because that's what I've learned to do. Just go with the information. I'm just the messenger. As Dr. Bradley Nelson of the Emotion Code says, I'm just the messenger. So, excuse me. So we've been doing oversoul healing this week, asking how happy is my oversoul? And how happy is the communication between the oversoul and the higher self and my individuated soul, and finding that there are some communication issues there. And so in the Ascension 2 audio healing products, we've actually downloaded some new frequencies. So that those folks that are beta testing and those that have been gifted and been giving this this particular healing product, you will now have access to those frequencies to optimize your positive relationship with your higher self and with the source as well. Source being the highest iteration of all that is. So God, creator, whatever you want to call it. And what's really interesting in the interview with Diana Cushionbach was her talking about how our higher selves are also still evolving. They are, now for some people, they have actually, it's the highest point ever, so they're not evolving any further. But for many, many of us, the higher self is still evolving and growing. So the higher self does not know necessarily everything, which I thought it did. And just to understand that sometimes we can bypass the higher self, talk straight to God, and get some other information that the higher self is not comfortable sharing with us, or the higher self does not think we are ready, or the higher self, in my case, decided that I really need to, to feel every ache and pain of Mother Earth in order for me to do our soul's mission. So we can sometimes bargain and talk with our higher selves to say, hey, we want to evolve to the highest level together. We don't have to do it the hard way. So let's try it this other way. So it was a fascinating conversation, some interesting healing conversations in there as well for people that called in. So if you have not checked out the show Monday, definitely you want to listen to that show on the higher selves if you are ready to have a huge paradigm shift of how you connect to your higher self. So again, this past week has been incredible healings with the oversoul and the connection with the higher self. And at the beginning of the week, you may have noticed definitely, still some remaining chaos from last week. So things are shifting as per usual pretty quickly. So some people have decided to leave the earth, meaning, deaths and suicides and that kind of thing. Other people have definitely had a wake-up call, decided they do want to stay and do want to live and are changing their lives and lifestyle habits. to support that change. And other people are changing relationships, so you might find that people suddenly feel like they need to get a divorce or move out or change locations, things like that. But a lot of the focus has been on relationships and love. Now, I don't say love as in the airy fairy romantic love, but really like the type of love, the universal love that we are all growing closer and closer to, that source love. So what I've noticed is these small little things, connections with complete strangers or tourists, being courageous and willing to talk and say hello and really be present. And sometimes I'm shy and I don't, believe it or not, and I don't want to talk to strangers that I don't really know. But I felt myself opening up. And whether it be to, volunteer to, answer questions from hitchhikers, or to talk with someone at the rink who's a tourist, or to take their picture, or to offer to pick up, a young woman riding her bicycle in the rain, whatever it is. Those little connections with each other, I could feel that's what that last ascension, actually we've had 3 last week, but those last ascension upgrades were for. It's really to get into this love space. So if you are not feeling the love and yet stuck in that overwhelming challenge, just know that that is just stuff clearing out so you can get to this other place, that there's no hurry for you to be into. I know sometimes it's really challenging when you're in the gunk to just feel it, but sometimes it's necessary for you to take action. So some people will not take action unless it's painful. I've been there. I know what that's like. So that might be where you're at right now, and that is totally okay. And if you're not there, at least you can understand the other people around you who are there, who are falling apart and things falling apart and people getting sick and just relationships falling apart, and just know that it is part of this process of peeling away those unwanted layers that no longer serve us, and that we're growing closer and closer to that love, that source, and that connection. So question yourself and be awake and aware. Okay, so what is it right now that isn't serving me, and what is, and go for what is. Make sense? All right, so next week, an exciting radio show call we are going to have with my good friend Jenny No, another energy healer. And a lot of people, when I've asked on a poll, what do you want out of spirituality? What is it that you need help with right now or support? And the overwhelming response is, I want to expand my spiritual gifts. The clairs, the clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, clairgustiance, clairescence, so on and so forth. So we're going to be doing a special show where we're going to be doing some activations for you right on the show. So anyone listening to the show, either live or recording, will be able to download and receive these activations, clearings, and healings. This is a free gift from Jenny and I, and you'll also get your chance to get some mini healings from Jenny and I. So if you're interested, you definitely want to tune in live next Monday at noon on blogtalkradio.com/Dr. Karen. Bookmark that link so you can come on the call either online with the link and clue in on the chat, or you can just call us as well and raise your hand so we know you have a question, because we're going to be doing some live healings right on the show, and we'd love to have you. These are very, very popular, so there is usually a big lineup of people wanting to do some healing work with us. So I really hope that you can be there, and remember to subscribe to these videos if you enjoy them. There's more exciting things to come, I am sure. It's never boring in my world, that's for sure. I look forward to talking with you next week and sharing with you the next adventure of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. For now, bye from me, and have a wonderful week. Love you all.